Welcome to Art with me, Katie Cordy. Today I'm going to show you how to draw 4 of Africa's most infamous animals: a lion, a giraffe, a zebra, and an elephant. A good start for an African safari. Due to the length of this video, feel free to use the timestamps under each of these finished examples to skip to whichever animal intrigues you the most. I used a Sharpie and colored in with crayons after recording, but you can use whatever medium you desire. So the first animal I'm going to start with is a lion. So to draw a lion, I'm first going to start with a wedge-like shape, almost like a triangle as if it had a blunt edge. And this will be my lion's head. Then I'm going to give it any kind of eyeballs that I want, and a large triangle for a nose. If I want, I can even give it a mouth. My next part is going to be my mane, which I'm going to think of almost like a triangle around the head. And I make mine jagged to make it look like it's fur. But of course, depending on what style you're doing, yours might differ. Then I'm going to do 2 half circles for each ear. My next step is going to be my body. And for my body, I'm going to think of it like an oval coming out of the lion's mane. So for instance, I'm going to draw a straightish line for the back. And then let me darken this with a pencil. Then I'll trace it with a Sharpie. This is my body. Hopefully that's coming through the camera pretty well. Hopefully. But essentially, from my body, okay, I'm going to draw my legs, which are going to be 2 straight lines with a half circle with 3 lines for each paw. Then for the back legs, I'm going to do something similar. And finally then, I'm going to add my tail, which is going to be like a noodle with a paintbrush on the tip. So this makes for a simple lion body. Next, I have my giraffe. I can, maybe not. I was hoping to do portrait, but I don't think I'm going to be able to fit it onto this screen. Oh well. So, for a giraffe, I'm going to start with the head. And the head is going to be like a rectangle, a triangle. It's going to be wedge-shaped. Okay? And then it's going to have a little horn and a leaf for an ear. And their ears are pretty big. My next step is I'm going to add my eyeballs, a nostril, and their mouth is closer to the bottom of their face than the top. My next step is going to be that very long neck of theirs, which I'm going to make by doing 2 long straight lines. From the bottom of my neck, if you want, you can add a slight curve for a shoulder. Otherwise, you can go straight down into your long legs and add a hoof. I'm going to do a straightish line for the belly, but the back is actually going to come down before I do my hind leg. And then, of course, my tail, which is going to be a lot like the lion's, a noodle with a paintbrush on the end. And, of course, a little mane on the back of the neck. And then when you color, you simply add all your spots. I forgot a leg. Oops. Much better. Next, I'm going to do my zebra. And for my zebra, instead of starting out with a curve, like a triangle-like shape for the giraffe, I'm going to think of it more like a rectangle with a curve, like a half circle, and then end it there. Okay? So you'll see that this one, these are a pretty equal distance apart from each other. But with the giraffe, there's a much more pointedness to it. Zebras, unlike horses, actually have very large, round ears, not triangles. And then I'm going to add my eyeballs. A nostril, teardrop, and a mouth. Next is going to come my neck, 2 lines, obviously not as long as the giraffe's. Again, I can add a little sloping C if I want for the shoulder before going down into my legs. And then I'm going to start my body, which is kind of like an oval. And my hind leg. And then my tail, which is just like everybody else so far, a noodle with a paintbrush. And then I'm going to add a mane, which sticks out. Gonna add my other legs real quick. There we go. And I can add the stripes in when I color. And then last but not least, my elephant. So for my elephant, I'm going to start with a circle. Essentially. The top part of the head is going to remain pretty circular, but then I'm going to come down almost sharply before going into my trunk, which can go in any direction that you want. I'm going to end the trunk with a shallow V before curving it back. Before I bring it all the way to the mouth, because I can't erase a Sharpie, I'm going to draw my tusks real quick, which are like curved triangles. And then bring my trunk in. And if I want, I can add a mouth with a lower lip. And of course, an eyeball. On the back of my circle, I'm going to start my ear, which is not going to come off the top of the head, but a little lower. And it's going to start almost like a mountain before coming down and then around. From here, I'm going to add a straight line for the bottom of my neck before moving into my body. I'm going to have a very straight back, but like the zebra and the lion, it has an oval for a body. You just can't see all of it. And from here, I'm going to add my legs, which are going to be very wide. 1, 2, 3 little half circles. One, two, three. And a tail, just like the rest of them. A noodle and a paintbrush. And I like to add a little lines for texture. There you go. So this is how you draw African animals.